Good morning, how y'all doing? I am this morning going to read from the book of Nahum. So I hope this blesses y'all and it's going to bless me. So the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of Nahum, the book of the vision of Nahum, the Elkoshite. God is jealous and the Lord revenges. The Lord revenges, and the fears of the Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he receiveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuketh the sea, and marketh it dry, and drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languished the Carmel, and the flower of Lebanon languished. The mountains quake at him, and his hills melt, and the earth is burning, and his presence ye in the world, and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured, and like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, and a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end of affliction, shall not rise up the second time. For while they be folden together all as thorns, and while they are drunken, as drunkards they shall be devoured as stubble full dry. Verse 11. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now will I break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name shall be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art Bel. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of them that bringeth good tidings, and that publishest peace. O Judah, keep the solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Chapter 2, verse 1. He that dashed in pieces is come up before thy face. Keep the malicious, watch their way, make thy line stronger, fortify thy power mightily. For the Lord hath turned away the excellency of Jacob, as the excellency of Israel, for the emptiers have emptied them out, and married their vine branches. The shield of his mighty men is made red, the valiant men are in sacred. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir trees shall be terribly shaken. The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall justly one against the other. Into the broad ways they shall seem like torches, they shall run like the lightnings. He shall recount his worthies, they shall stumble in their walk, they shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defense shall be prepared. The gates of the river shall be opened, and the palace shall be dissolved, and Huzzab shall be led away captive. She shall be brought up, and her maid shall lead her, as with the voice of doves, tabbering upon their breast. But Nahum is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store and glory out of the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melted, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in her loins, and the faces of them are gathered blackness. Where is the dwelling of the lions, and the feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walketh, and the lions weep, and none made them afraid? The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whips, and he strangled for his loneliness, and filled his holes with prey, and his dens with raven. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will burn here chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. That was my dog, Daisy. That noise. So, chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, the noise of the whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. There is a multitude of slain, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpse. They stumble upon their corpses. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-flavored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that sells nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy darkness, and thy kingdom thy shame, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Naivah is laid waste, who will mourn her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than Populus? No, that was situate among the rivers, not that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. Ethiopia and Egypt were here strength, and it was infinite. Paul had been where they helpers, yet was it carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men. And all her great men were bound in chains. Verse 11, thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars. Draw the waters for the siege. Fortify thy strongholds. Go into clay and treat the mortar. Make strong the bitumen. There shall the fire devour thee. The sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat thee up like the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust. Thou shalt hast multiply thy merchants above the stars of the heaven. The crankworm spoileth and fleeth away. Thy crown are as the locust, and thy captains as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day. But when the sun arises, they flee away, and their place is not known where they are. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathers them. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear to brood of thee shall clap the hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? Wow. That is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, 2, chapter 3, and the book of Nahum. I hope that bless y'all, as I know it blessed me, and y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.